for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024 at 7:11 p.m. We can all stand for the pledge of allegiance. Can I please get a moment of silence? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Diana?
Here.
Councilmember Sophia?
Here.
Councilmember Mary?
Here.
Councilmember Vera?
Here.
Councilmember Arturo?
Here.
Okay, so before we get started tonight, once again, I will announce that if you have anything to say, you will stand up at the podium. You will have 2 minutes max. And I know that we had a couple of people call in that nobody's stating their name and address and they can't hear it, so you need to speak up. Also, if you are here with concerns on the city staff, that you please go into the city hall and talk to me about it. We're not going to be putting anything on the record regarding our staff. We are all adults here and we'll take care of that in the office. Okay? So, and if you're talking out of turn, you will be asked to leave. So can I get a vote on the meeting agenda?
I make a motion to a vote on the meeting agenda.
I have a vote by Diana,
I second it.
seconded by Mary. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Can I get a motion for the consent agenda A through C? I have a vote by Diana, second by Vera. All in favor?
I'm sorry, discussion?
Oh, yeah.
What about the,
Julie?
Julie? She said she was gonna fix the minutes from the last meeting, because she didn't put down any of the comments that the council put in here. So I'm okay to approve it with the corrections of her adding the comments that we did last week. Adding them in the minutes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll let her know. And Larry, if you can also let her know. Thank you. Okay, so if we can get the consent agenda A through C approved. I know Diana said she had already done it, second by Vera, but then you stopped me, so
So then you go all in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're going to go ahead and go on to D, the approval of the splash pad design agreement. So,
I think we should table that.
okay.
We need some designs of splash pads and the toys that you guys picked already.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and table that, and we'll bring it back. Okay, Jamie?
Yep, just let us know if you have questions or anything.
Okay, thank you. So we will go into visitors' comments. You will have 2 minutes.
Mayor, can you make a motion to table?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to table D, the approval of the splash pad design agreement?
I make a motion to approve approval of the splash pad.
No,
design.
we're tabling it.
To table.
To table.
To table.
Yes. Can you say that again, please, Diane?
We're going to table the splash pad design agreement.
Okay, I have a motion by Diana,
I second it.
second by Mary. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so now is our time for visitors' comments.
Ruben Olivares, 211 North Second Avenue. I can see where you're coming from with the splash pad, but I think right now, I think the problem with the well and the water needs to be solved before that splash pad's even thought about being implemented. Because from what I hear, there's gonna be a water shortage this coming summer. That ain't gonna benefit nobody. The smell of the water during the summer is bad. What's gonna happen if it's the same thing at that splash pad with the kids?
So if our splash pad, if we pass it and there is a water shortage, then it will be closed. That's what other cities do. They close them down if they have a drought.
Okay, what about the smell?
Well, we're working on that, Ruben, and we had that conversation the other day. We're working on the chlorination system and a new well. So we're hoping that'll help the situation. And Jamin is here and he can answer that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the specific question.
The splash pad, Jamin, it's, this summer, supposedly there's supposed to be a drought. Not only that, but with the smell and stuff during the summer with this water, is it really beneficial to put a splash pad? Especially if we can't solve the problem throughout the whole summer, that thing's gonna be shut down for the whole summer. So, I mean, is it really feasible?
That's a good question. I think what you've seen is the water issues for the splash pad would have more to do with water quantity than water quality. And so those certain days when it's 100 and the wells are just barely keeping up, those might be a time when it would be hard to have the splash pad online.
Yeah.
There are other days where the wells are able to keep up. You would have more flexibility for that. Mabton has a water supply shortage, right? Nobody's surprised that that's the case. You do have a few remaining connections with DOH. We're trying to drill wells and the city's doing what they can to get additional storage. But where you see that frequently is, it's very hottest times of summer when the wells just can't keep up, and that would be a time the city would have to consider, turning the splash pad off. With regard to should the city or shouldn't, ultimately that's I would say in some ways that's a city priorities, right? If it's something that you want to do and something you want to provide, something you can move forward to with. I don't know, sorry, does that answer the question, Mayor? I'm sorry.
Yes,
yes.
thank you.
I hear an answer, but there are a lot of different angles to this.
Okay, thank you, Jamin.
No, that's good. You see, that's one of my main concerns, is that if it's shut down, then it's not benefiting nobody. Because of the smell, the quality of the water.
But like he said, the smell, it's not gonna, do anything. It's not gonna hurt anyone. I mean, if somebody wants to take the kids to, cool down, and if they're okay with the smell, then I don't think any of us or you or anybody here should have an issue with it, because each parent's gonna determine if they want their child to be under that water or not.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't have any gripes about it. I'm not against it. I just think that right now the timing is not the right time. I would suggest that until this water thing is fixed, at least the smell and stuff, then maybe we can look into it again. But for right now, I don't think it would be beneficial to anybody.
So,
I understand where you're coming from.
I think we talked about this as well, about the smell. With the new well going in and the chlorination system, that isn't gonna be 100% sure either, with the help, to help with the odor. So, I mean, we can do the new well, we can do the chlorination system, and we can still have some odor. So until we can really figure out what we can do, our hands are tied. Right now we're doing the chlorination system. So we're hoping that's gonna help some, but I remember a couple of meetings ago when he was here, I had asked that same question, and he's like, I'm not 100% sure it's gonna, solve the problem.
To be clear, the purpose of the chlorination system improvements, the primary purpose is to make it so you have a consistent chlorine residual, right? And so frequently in the summer, you've had issues with the chlorine system, and your chlorine residual is high and low and on and off, and it's a maintenance nightmare for city staff. And so this should help maintain a consistent chlorine residual, which means your system is run better, the water quality is better. It's an overall really big improvement to the system. It may have a side benefit of improving some of the taste and odor, but the purpose, is just to make it sure you can keep your chlorine residual consistent.
Yes, you see, and I understand all that. I really do. But the thing about it is that right now, and we're all tired of hearing the same topic all the time, what the water. It's a continuing conversation. It's like a revolving door. And it gets to the point to where let's try to solve the problem before we put anything else on top of that problem.
And we are trying to solve
See?
the problem.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
That's why
And
we're
if it can
bringing,
save us some money in the long road, and put it off to the side for a year, and see where we're at after next year.
Well, I mean,
And
we
if it's
can,
better, then we can come back and say, hey, you know what? It's a go, let's put it up.
I say, this is what I think, we should install, and at least because I know that there's so many splash pads going in that we'd have to get on a list to get it installed. So if we can get on that list for this year to get it installed and then have it ready for the following summer, that's great. I was hoping to have it this last year installed in the spring, so it was ready for summer. But unfortunately, things didn't work out like that because we've been going back and forth with the engineers that do like the drawings, the layout and everything, you know, and trying to determine how big we want it. And I'm like, we don't want anything big, you know, very small and simple. So until just a while back, he was able to get me all the information. So I think we should just go back, go forward. Let's get it up and going. If our kids aren't able to use it this year, then we at least have it and we can go and, you know, start using it the following summer. But we need to start because this money is only going to be good till 2025.
Can this money be used for other projects?
Water.
Can it be used for other projects?
It can be used for water.
Anything that has to do with water.
Okay, so why don't we use some of that money and try to resolve the issue with the wells before we do anything else?
We're using the grant money.
Because right now, it seems like everything's being nickel and dimed. You know,
Well, we're
it's just a
using-
Band-Aid over a wound.
So, Jamin, the wells are with the grant that we received from our commissioner, correct?
At this point, you're actually, that is a part of the funding package. You have three funding components to your funding package for that project. The first is a CDBG grant. The second is a USDA RD loan grant package. And then the third is the grant that came through Yakima County's ARPA funds. So at this point, you're still in that CDBG grant. And so to date, the city hasn't spent, any city funds. It's all been grant funded.
I know, okay, let me ask you this, Jimmy. In your honest opinion, you know, and be straight up with me, man. Don't beat around the bush or anything, just be straight up. It might be unrealistic.
I'm sorry, can you speak? Because I only hear what you say through the microphone. I can only hear some of what you said. I'm sorry.
In all honesty, but be honest with me, it might be unrealistic with my train of thought. Through your eyes. I know you're in it because, you know, you work for the city and everything, you're trying to do the best that you can, grant-wise, financially wise, loan-wise, whatever. But as a resident of Mabton, it might be unrealistic.
I'm being realistic about what? I'm really
About
sorry.
this water thing.
About
About how I view the splash pad and the wells.
I guess I would say that the priorities for city projects are something that are at the city's discretion. I don't think anybody disagrees that the city needs water sources, and that there are concerns about aesthetic water quality. And so the city is making progress in that, in that respect, and doing a water treatment, water quality analysis. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't feel like I'm answering your question.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
As far as the water treatment goes, what do you think about that? Are we spending too much money on something that we don't even know if it's possible that's gonna work? Because the last couple of times,
treatment or for
it hasn't panned out.
drilling the wells?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, can you say it again? I don't think your microphone is working very well, so I can't hear anything, I'm sorry. I'll turn my speakers up and see if I can hear better.
Can you hear me?
What does the water treatment consist of at this point?
The city's current water treatment? So currently, the
Your
city.
plan.
Oh, yes, so right now, we're doing a study. We're taking the samples that ecology paid for, having done independent water quality sampling. We are doing an analysis of those samples, identifying the constituents that are likely the cause of taste, odor, and aesthetic issues. There's some manganese, there's some iron, there are a few different things. And then we're going to put that together in a memo for the city that says, okay, here are the samples, here are the results, here is a recommended treatment system. It probably will be a single recommended treatment system, and here's a draft cost for what that facility would cost. And then we will provide that back to the city for review. Does that answer your question?
Can you tell us a little bit
Maria,
about what
can you
you think
please sit down and state your name?
action plan might be?
Jamin, you don't have to answer that. Thank you.
Jamin,
The reason I'm asking
Jamin,
is because the
thank you.
ARPA fund's gonna be used for a feasibility study for a water treatment facility.
That's why I'm asking. There's a reason
Thank you.
for it, Rachel.
Ruben, you need to stand up and state your name.
I hope you give me as much time.
No,
David.
you're not. 2 minutes. Ruben,
I'll
that's
take
enough,
more
please.
time.
Is it?
Yep,
I was just gonna
thank
say,
you. Ruben, please, thank you. 2 minutes.
And the residents for this.
Hola, buenas noches, mi nombre es Alberto Vázquez, vivo en la 513 Maple Street. Quiero darle el tiempo a mi amiga primero, pero primeramente quisiera saber qué está pasando con el agua que dieron para regalar a los ciudadanos de aquí que vivimos en Mabton. ¿Dónde está el agua que nos prometieron?
The Candade water.
Right. ¿Dónde está? ¿Está guardada? Ya tenemos como 2 veces que estamos dando agua por medio de esta organización que no pertenece a Mabton, pero nos están ayudando. Y quisiera saber qué pasa con ustedes.
So he's asking,
what he's asking is where's the water that was contributed to the city of Mapton
from
that
the
the
state
city has a hold of?
by Candade.
And it's supposed to be for the residents of Mapton. He wants to know where is it at and what's the deal with that? That's what he's wanting to know.
It's out at the treatment plant in a storage, what are they storing?
Yeah, they're in storage.
It's just getting warm. We need the water for the citizens right now. We don't, I mean, that
Okay,
ella is
let me ask a question.
Sure.
And I'm tired of this back and forth. I'm
Okay, go
sorry
ahead.
that I'm in the middle.
I know, you've been
But-
there in the food bank. You've been helping to come to the water out.
Yes, but what was more important that day? For our workers to be out doing our streets that were really bad, and ask Mary or anybody might, no, you don't shy like that to me. What's more important, for them to be out making us safe?
I got stuck pulling back out of my driveway when
I got stuck
they
today.
blow the
I got
snow.
stuck today.
I know,
But,
but
so we
see,
need
the
to
water
pull
is the
them-
one we need for our service, to eat,
We
to cook.
tried,
Okay.
Okay, thank you. This water is getting to be out of hand.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's our priority, is to focus on the water, that we have a
Maria
problem
took
with
care
the
of it,
city.
didn't she, when she found out that we weren't gonna get city water? Unfortunately, it was hard for her to do and shouldn't have had to happen, but it did. There was no what are those things? To pick the water up with?
Oh, Heister.
First, listen, please. You ask a question, let me answer it. First, there were no heisters. We thought we had the high school heister. The high school heister doesn't work.
And I
City
said that.
doesn't have a heister. So our public works was carrying that water on a backhoe.
The food bank has a heister.
They can't take it away from the food bank's property. Wherever.
Well, I'm sorry,
We
Ask
can't, we
Amber.
had it worked out to have another company come out and take the water for
But that
us.
was the same day that all that happened, Amber, and that day, we had, I think our streets were pretty important.
but you don't know, Vera, you see how hard we've been delivering water, every what, once a month?
Yeah,
We bring water for the town, and that water in the city is just hiding right there at
It's
the
not
shop.
hiding.
Huh?
Wasn't hiding, I talked about
Why
it.
not,
I
but
talked
why
to
not give
Amber.
it to the people
You
that
know
needs it?
what? They got
Thank you.
water, and unfortunately, it wasn't the best way. You guys could still have your 10 cases of water from out there. It's just gonna have to be planned where. it
So-
doesn't
Why
happen.
till you guys decided to do it?
Yes.
That's what it means,
Yes.
like,
Who decided to do
until
it?
you, Rachel, decided to give it away of water, a
So-
way that we can have some?
So right now, Alberto,
Mhm.
there's no smell with our water. Our water doesn't taste awful. Our water is not
I know,
brown.
but why you holding the water they give it to you to give it to the city?
Go get it.
Why is there?
You want it right now?
We go to the city, we go to the city hall,
Where
and what
you
do they
gonna
give you? They don't
store
give you
it?
nothing.
Answer
Well,
my
no,
question.
we don't have it at the city hall. We have it at the
So how come we not
wastewater.
bring it to, so we can?
Because that's not our job.
so
We're gonna
where's the
pull it
job?
out and you guys can pick it up. And
So
that's exactly
Can
what I
can
told
the
them.
food bank go get it? So we can give it to the people?
She said, Amber said they couldn't use the heister to go get it.
I said we had it worked out with another company also.
Already? For the last time?
For the
Or
last
this
time, yes, we did.
Well, see, that's the thing, that everybody says this and everybody says
Well, that's
something else,
because they will
but
communicate
we need the
with
water.
I was communicating with Vera throughout this whole thing. When me and Vera
Well, you
talked,
was-
well, listen.
Misunderstand, you should talk
You
to,
know what? Sit down. We're done.
you
We're
should
done.
talk to Amber
We're
when you wanna
done.
talk
No,
about
we're
the
not
water
done.
deal.
We're done, Vera.
Because
Just,
Vera,
No,
when you
listen
talk,
to me.
Vera,
you wanna
just
talk,
Let go, sit
you
down
have
for a
to-
minute and let me talk.
we're not gonna do this.
go ahead.
Please,
No, I
no, I wanna
just explain to us
you guys get
what's
too-
going on.
I did. You know, and this is what I'm tired of, April. Amber. When I called you, we had everything set and it was a go. So things fell through, and I called you right away.
What do you told to stop?
You
She
called
doesn't
Maria.
comment to you.
Yeah, she did it.
I never got an answer back from any of you guys. I didn't even know we were still doing it. I wrote to you and asked you what's going on. Never got a reply.
She did it.
Well, there's something misunderstanding though, but we need to hook up together so we can make this difference.
Yeah, but
We
it
can
doesn't
change
do any
something.
good
Yeah,
to
yeah,
stand
she
here
did
and
it.
bicker
I
back
mean,
and
if we don't have each other, we're not gonna change.
We're just trying to get some clarification, is all we're trying to
Here's the thing
do.
about it, here's
Okay, Ruben, please sit down.
I'll
I'll clarify right now. Just sit down, please.
You guys just need to calm down now.
Okay,
All you
we're
guys need to
done.
calm down.
We're done.
I don't
and
like
let's
it.
adjourn
This meeting.
Huh?
I don't like there was no lie, there was no deception.
We can't adjourn
What
the
she
meeting
told
yet.
me,
We're
and
not
I
even
relayed
done
to you
yet.
guys.
You guys can't.
When I got there, that's all I heard.
No, the mayor doesn't have the authority to adjourn.
No, and I'm saying,
to adjourn
that's
the
why
meeting.
I'm telling
If you
them.
try to adjourn the meeting, another council member can take over. You guys need to read your handbook.
No, you don't need to know.
Yes, I do need to know. I'm
No.
a citizen of this town.
Yes,
I
and-
do know the rules.
Okay, and you've
I
already
do
had
know
more
the
than 2
handbook.
minutes.
It's public
That's
information.
enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
So the water that we got from that was donated, that water is not gonna be distributed till we have water issues. And it's in cans, and it's fine where it's at, so we don't need it right now.
What about the portion?
So, you know what, you don't talk, you stand up if you wanna say something. So anyway, we're
Since you're
moving on.
clarifying,
I have-
since
I
you're
have-
Just give that
clarifying.
water to whoever you wanna give it
I have a
to.
comment on what you just said, I'm sorry.
If you guys need water, come to the food bank, we have water.
Will you be quiet so we can hear one
The
person?
deal with that Can A thing was to be given out now.
No,
Yes, it,
Yes.
no.
10 pallets is AS.
yes, I
That's all
know.
there is.
But-
So you just said they're not,
Yeah,
Because
that's
we're
what
not gonna give it out, and I'm gonna tell you why, Sophie.
you can't control that.
No,
So the
because
food
they
bank has to
listen,
get water, that's why you don't
let
wanna
me
give
tell-
the water.
So
I
I
was
told,
gonna make I was answering, comment on what you had just said.
okay, so let me tell you.
Well, let me
Let
finish.
her
Okay.
finish.
You need to just quiet down,
I wanna hear what she
Maria.
has to say.
Okay,
Just-
and I'm sure you already heard
Yeah,
her.
you need to just.
No, you don't tell me what to do.
And you don't tell us what to do, Rachel.
No, you're nobody.
Rachel.
No, you're nobody.
No, you are nobody, Rachel. You're completely
This is very
unprofessional.
unprofessional. This
Very
is very
unprofessional.
unprofessional.
So, Sophie,
Yes, so let me
The
finish.
whole-
Okay, hang on,
No,
let one
no,
person
you're
talk.
No, Vera.
Hang on.
I have the floor.
Can I hear what Sophie has to say,
Yeah,
please?
let's hear what Sophie has to say. Okay, the deal for this Can Aid was to give it out, not in the summer when you think we need to give it out. It was to be given out now to the residents, now.
okay,
And the
so,
deal was, I guess, was city keeps half,
yes,
and gets the other
exactly.
half, okay?
Yes.
They want to get the other half,
Okay,
that's it.
Let me tell you, me and Vera met on Tuesday, was last Tuesday, correct, or Monday? And we had said we were gonna pull the cases out, because we didn't have the, heister to go. And she's like, oh, well, the school, I'm like, the school don't have a heister, and I already has explained it here.
I know, I've heard what you
And
said
so,
here, yeah.
Vera came and she's like, well, now we can't have the high school. I go, Vera, I said that in the meeting, but you guys wanted to listen to Adriana because her husband works at the high school. We weren't close with the high school. We had already asked about the high school, and it said it didn't work.
Yes,
So-
I remember.
Okay, so now, I told Vera, we can get the water out, we'll get it out Friday, 4 o'clock. Vera had said she was gonna let Maria know. Well, Maria already had her plan for 2 o'clock. Well, I'm sorry, but we don't work around her clock. We work around the city's clock.
That was what I was
So
told.
anyway-
2 o'clock was what I was told initially.
Not
It wasn't
by
my
us,
plan.
not
It
by
wasn't my
us.
plan.
Hang on, Maria.
So completely amenable.
So we didn't agree at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I agreed at 4 o'clock. And so that we stayed like that. Well, then we had the snowfall, and me and Vera still had a talk. And I go, Vera, the guys are out cleaning. They're not gonna be able to pull that water out, but I'll call Joe right now and I'll ask him. So I called him, didn't I call him, Vera, and I let you know. And he's like, Mayor, he goes, we will try to get it done. He goes, but we're still working on the south side of town. We haven't even hit the north side. And that was at 12:45, Sophie. He's like, we haven't even hit the north side of town, Mayor. He goes, so I'm sorry, but we're not gonna be able to take out the water because we haven't even cleaned the wastewater plant.
And we got
And you
volunteers.
know
that
what?
will
Stop.
take-
Yeah.
So anyway,
We got volunteers.
I said, okay. I go, well, I will let Vera know. I let Vera know, it was about 12:45 when I called you back. It was about 12:45 when I let Vera know. And she says, well, if they can't do it, they can't do it. I go, well, I called them and I asked them. But the thing was, they were supposed to get it out on Friday. So don't think that I wasn't trying to get it out, because I was.
I
But
didn't
we
say
have the
that.
snowfall.
You just said right now.
We have the
that you're not
snowfall.
gonna give it, but
So,
okay.
well, yeah, we're not gonna give it right now because we can't, it's the time's awful,
Rachel,
Sophie.
excuse me,
That's not what you just said, but
she's
anyway, yeah.
gonna keep her 10 cases,
Yeah.
but Ella will
Yeah.
get theirs whenever they want.
Yeah, but we're not gonna distribute ours until we need it, and this is coming from Commerce, from Mike. I talked to
At
him,
the last meeting though, you said you were gonna take it to
So it's
the
gonna be
city
a little
hall.
bit more?
yeah, and then we did it because I had talked to Mike.
Let me finish.
I know what I
City hall,
said.
and the people were gonna come get it there.
Mhm. Yeah,
Now
but
you're
then,
saying, no, you gotta go get it at the water plant. But anyway.
well, it's
not-
been at the water
I
plant,
know it's been there.
so we're gonna wait.
We've gotta bring it in.
That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Yeah, well, now I said, we're gonna bring it. It's not
Well,
at
now
the
you're
city,
gonna bring it again to the city.
but we're not gonna bring it right now. We're gonna
Okay,
wait
well,
till,
that's okay, that's okay.
Okay.
So the ball got dropped somewhere between Vera and Aya.
Not really.
no,
No, I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah, we had it, we already
Anyway.
had a heister too. We ended up getting a heister too. And then it was just that we were gonna get access to the gate. That's
They
what,
just
that's
make
what
it
the
big
gate,
water.
yeah, that's what,
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
we had
So
everything
anyway, they
ready.
closed
We had
down.
everything ready, but
They
they wouldn't give us
closed down.
access to the gate.
They closed down that day and they couldn't get us, what's, we're
No.
not told?
Sophie,
Yeah.
the guys worked until 4:30, but they were cleaning the streets.
I know.
So nothing
Well, the
closed
city
down.
closed down. Yeah,
The
yeah.
city closed
Yeah,
down,
I mean,
the
yes.
city, but the
Yeah.
guys were still working.
Yes.
And the guys still came to work the next day.
So anyway, they couldn't get out because they were busy doing the plow. Somehow it got dropped, it didn't get to Aya.
It didn't get dropped.
Communication.
It didn't get dropped. Well, I explained it.
Communication was there,
So I
but
heard that there
no
was
way to
3
get them
employees
water.
following each other.
Yeah.
We couldn't go inside the gate, right?
Yeah, we weren't allowed to go inside the gate.
Yeah, well, that's not coming from me though, that's coming from ecology. And that's coming from
No,
Randy
from
and them.
you.
So,
Okay, so anyway, so they can have their 10 cases whenever they, well, whenever you guys can
well, they can
accommodate
bring it
them.
out.
But you don't have to wait till summer.
No,
like you
they don't
said.
have to, but we're gonna wait until the water,
But we need the
need
city
it.
to act in good faith in order to allow us access.
There's
That's what
gonna
has
be
to
no
happen instead
water.
of trying to sabotage.
We weren't
the event.
sabotaging anything.
Sounds like it is.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Well,
sounds
that's
like
what
you
you
were.
guys think. Why don't you ask everybody else if they think I sabotaged it?
Well, give the water away.
It's common
So, yeah.
knowledge now. at this
Well,
point.
I'm
Give
telling
the
all
water
of you,
away.
I am
Anyway.
not playing the middleman.
We don't expect you to, Vera.
We don't, I know, Vera, we're not
Mayor,
expecting
get
you
rid of the
to.
water.
Vera, we had this conversation where you thought your spouse had said
Yeah.
nothing's wrong with our water right now?
Unless the
It
council
doesn't
passes a
need it.
resolution.
So-
The mayor does not get to decide
Anyway.
that. The council can absolutely pass a resolution to distribute the water when it wants. You're not a
There's
dictator.
There's nothing wrong with our
It
water.
doesn't, the thing about it is that it's not about the water, it's about the distribution of the water to the
And
residents
I
of
get
Mabton.
it. So that's why I said we will
Nobody-
give them the 10 pallets.
Hold up, Rachel. Nobody can decide or dictate when that water is needed. How do you know they don't need it tomorrow? How do you know they won't need it next week? I don't think they're gonna, I don't think, hold up.
Just put some water.
Hold up.
Because you know what's gonna happen, and we've had people come into City Hall, and they're like, we want water, and I'm like, we're not gonna distribute the water right now, I'm sorry. They're like, well, you've been giving it out, I'm like, we haven't been giving it out, that does not have anything to do with the city. We have water, but that water distribution doesn't have anything to do with the city.
It has everything to do with your community, which
Yes,
is
but-
this city.
Yeah, but they come in thinking
And
we're
you've got-
giving it away.
You've got council members who are helping.
So,
It has everything to do with the
Anyway,
city.
I tell the people that we're not gonna give out the canned water until it's needed, because when the water starts smelling again, hopefully it don't, and when it starts tasting funny, hopefully it don't, you know, we'll be fine. But once it starts, what are we gonna give the community, Ruben?
ARPA money.
We're not gonna give
ARPA money to
anybody
use
the
for
money.
water.
Hey,
No,
Instead
we
of a
cannot.
splash pad.
Yes, you can. It's for water.
Or water filtration systems. Rachel.
You said something
What
about
about the nanos in the water?
filtration system to put in the.
Look at him and ask him.
You said, okay. Hey, Jamie, you said you're talking about putting a filtration system at the wells?
With the meters.
Well, no, that's too many. Can you put it at the wells that go out to the meters?
So the good news is, you can actually, your system is a little different than most water systems. Most water systems, the wells pump into the water system and the reservoir is on the system, but they're not connected. For you guys, all of your wells currently come together in a single pipe and run to the reservoirs. They go into the reservoirs, and then from the reservoirs, they go to the system. That's not the way most water systems are set up, but that's just the way Mapton's has been set up over the last 50 years or 100 years.
Come change that.
The good news with that is that potentially allows you to treat in one place. You could treat water from all 3 wells in one place instead of having to individually treat them at the sources. Which is cool because otherwise, instead of being kind of 3 treatment systems, you could potentially do 1 treatment system. And that helps because because ultimately this isn't, a treatment facility isn't a cheap project. But it does help that you could potentially do it at one place instead of three. And as part of our analysis that we're completing, we'll have the recommended alternative with an engineer's cost estimate, and so you guys could use that. If you decide to move forward with it, you would have a cost and a preliminary conceptual design that you could use to seek funding if you wanted to seek outside funding.
One of those options really should be a treatment facility as well,
Yes,
Damon. So,
State your name.
yeah, Maria Fernandez with AR, and I want to explain a process. Okay?
You got 2 minutes.
So this nobody here met with the EJ Council several months ago. The Washington State Environmental Justice Council which was initially a task force put on by Governor Inslee, okay? It is now the EJ Council. We got to work with the EJ Council several months ago to draft a recommendation to the legislature for a pocket of money for overburdened communities. That little recommendation is basically the recommendation that came out of the issue here in Mabton. So you all are in the map, right, for the EJ Council. This nobody here met with Governor Inslee yesterday. This nobody here met with your 2 representatives to push that recommendation for Mabton. Okay, that's what this nobody did. Rachel, did you do that? Have you done that?
We've been working on that. We've been working
With
on
the
it.
governor?
Yes, we have.
Really?
We actually got an email back.
So you got a face-to-face with him?
No, we got
to
an
push
email.
that?
We got an
Not
email.
only did we push the recommendation by the EJ Council, and it's not a guarantee, but as long as we're trying to push it through, we've made a pretty good case for bringing funds to Mabton. Okay, and just like you nobody has been working with the EPA as well, okay? So this nobody and this nobody organization is working our asses off for this town because I have family here. Because this is where I was raised when I was a little girl, okay? So this town matters to me as well, Rachel, whether I live here or not, okay? So until you can tell me your concrete results and the work that you say that you're doing, in fact, I had it on my laptop and I said, hey, Rachel, you could have asked me for this information yourself. I would have gladly given it to you. I gave you that grant so your folks can work on it. I'm still willing to work on it if you want to work on it with me so we can pass it through with the city. But I'm not gonna be jerked around like in the instance with this water event where we were jerked around.
You weren't jerked around.
Yeah, we were.
No,
Yes, we were.
You still have the water.
Yes, we were.
And you'd really get off on recording people, don't
Okay,
you?
so,
No,
yes, we were.
You still have the water.
Yes, we were.
And you'd really get off on recording people, don't
Okay,
you?
so, anyway, regardless of your personality, whatever your issues are, Rachel, we're still here to work with the residents.
And
We're
I
still
have
here
Jamie here
don't
working.
interrupt me.
No,
I am still
interrupt you.
here
This
to
is your
work
2
with
minutes,
whatever
sir.
council members, whoever council
Thank you.
members
Your 2
will
minutes are
work
up.
with us. Because this
2 minutes
isn't
are up.
about you, Rachel. This is about getting water to the residents.
Let her finish.
And I
She
said,
doesn't
this
sound-
is 2
Okay.
2 minutes.
she's-
I
she
have-
needs
To finish.
Let her finish. She's
I
an
have
organization
residents.
that's trying to help Mabton.
I have residents.
Thank you,
call
Sophie.
me. I have residents who call me with real legitimate concerns about the water because it stinks.
Just
Because
like
it's
the
discolored.
fake,
Let me talk.
petition that you
Because
guys
it's
had her
discolored.
sign.
Because it smells foul, it tastes foul. I had to take water to a woman on a very separate occasion, not one of our distribution events. I came all the way from Yakima with water for 3 different residents because 2 of them were too elderly to get water for themselves. One of them had just had a baby. She had a newborn plus 4 other kids in her home. And she's a single mother. Okay, Rachel, those are the calls that we get. Do you get those calls?
So we get them all the time.
Do
we not get
you
them out?
care to respond to
Ignore
those
it.
at all? Do you
Ignore it.
care to
No,
respond
they
to
have-
those at all?
The girls tell them
I
that you're
care
the one
enough
who
to
gives out the
respond to
water.
those. I care so much that I will go to Costco, fill my truck up, take the hour drive over here, and drop the water off twice outside of a distribution event. So don't tell me that, oh, you're just this nobody, Maria. Okay? This nobody meets with important people that can actually do something here. And I don't care that you're sitting in that seat. I'll continue to work with you, Rachel, until in 2 years you're not there.
That's fine, Maria.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
I have one thing to say.
We're done.
No, I have one thing to say.
No, you
No,
already
I
had
have
your
one thing
time.
to say, Rachel.
So do
This
we
is a
have any
public
staff
forum.
report?
I
Yeah,
have
and
one
we
thing
get
to
2
say.
minutes, and that's it.
No, if you read your book, we get between 3 and 5 minutes.
No,
If you
we
read your
can
book,
give what
no,
we want,
here's another
and we
thing.
give 2,
Here's
and
another
you've
thing.
already had
No,
more than 3 to 5
here's another
minutes.
thing, Rachel.
So there.
You're the mayor, but you don't make the rules in this meeting. The council makes the rules. Read your handbook. I know the handbook. The council makes the rules. You don't make the rules
No,
here.
we
You're a
already have
mediator
mine.
here. You're just a mediator, that's all. You're here to listen.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
The council's
do
the
we
one
have
that makes
any
the
staff reports?
decisions.
Really?
All right?
Any staff
I will
reports?
say this.
Okay.
I am thankful that you girls are on the school, on the council board now because
This meeting is
you are
adjourned.
willing to speak up.
You can't
and
adjourn
you're
it.
willing to ask questions.
Can we adjourn without a motion?
You're willing to speak up.
I had a couple of comments too.
So we're done.
You can't adjourn it.
Objection.
Okay,
You
so
cannot
please
address
shut them
it.
down.
You
You
can't.
don't have no authority. The
Yeah,
council
yeah.
does.
Okay, let me
The
say
council
something.
does.
Ruben, I think, yes, thank you.
Okay, let's go,
You don't
Council.
even listen, man.
Rachel,
You got voted for a
your
reason.
handbook or MRSC will tell you that if you decide you're going to adjourn the meeting.
We have to have it, we have to have it at council,
We
has to make.
can,
Yeah,
we
you
can
can.
take over. We don't have to adjourn this meeting,
Nope.
just because you do, okay? So that's why I want the handbook.
yeah,
I want a mediator and I want us all to know the same rules,
Mhm.
because that's very important of how.
And I
we work.
agree.
Because
So filtration system can go at a certain place, is that what you guys are planning on doing?
No.
That's what's been the plan? No.
No.
There,
Well, we had, talked about it at one time, and then Jamin, when we talked about it, he said that no, because we have somebody come in from, I believe, Granger.
he said no, why? Why is it not?
Because it's a liability for the city. Did you just
Are
hear
you
what I
talking,
said?
are you
So
talking?
But not
wait a
in
minute,
the
wait a minute.
properties, at the base
She's
where the.
talking about.
Well, we're getting a
Okay, so we are, that's what I'm.
We're getting a
not the homes.
chlorination system,
Oh, not a filtration system.
not a filtration system. We're getting a chlorination system. That's what was approved.
So how about the thing I talked about last week about the,
Oh, the aberration? The
mixer.
The mixer.
Yes,
So we looked into it, and actually me and Jamin talked about that. Jamin, do you want to tell her what you told me?
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember, the city was previously looking into a mixer. I discussed it with the city's public works director at the time. He was handling that. We weren't directly involved. You know, mixing certainly wouldn't be bad for the city's reservoirs, and he was working on that. I don't know the exact details of how far he got on it. I just know it's a project he was making progress in, to add mixers to one or both of the reservoirs. But it wasn't something he needed our assistance with. And so my understanding is he was talking directly to a supplier or suppliers of that equipment, and working on getting costs and all of that for the city.
yeah, he was working on it and
You know,
then.
if you're interested in pursuing it again, I can
No,
certainly pull
and then
some
his
contact
other-
info of a supplier if you'd like to discuss costs with them or anything like that.
Position was cut, so he couldn't do anything
Decide if you
anymore.
wanna do.
So there was, but you said that there was already money in the budget when.
It was in the
No,
budget.
It wasn't, because we
Well, we
looked back,
passed it in the budget,
we looked back and we looked at minutes and there was nothing.
so this money,
Did you talk to Juan earlier, a couple of weeks ago?
3.
Yes, I did.
money anyway that we have,
You
that
said
has
your
to be
mixer
used
was
by
there.
2025, we can use it to buy this thing and get it put in the tanks.
Tootie says it's already there.
Where is it at? In the tank? If anyone's gonna know about this, it's our engineers, because we work closely with them out of the
He
water.
knows about it, but it's not something that he needed to do, it's something that the public works lead was working on.
He was just, yeah, he had just talked about it. So just to talk and to go forward, it's two different things. It
Okay,
wasn't in the budget.
so can we work on getting that with the money that is put aside that needs to be used with this, COVID money? It's water.
So, Jamin, I think when you said, I brought it to you about the agitator being put in, I think you said we could, but the cost was gonna be, the electricity part, if I'm correct?
I mean, you would have to pay for power, right? And so there would be some addition of the power cable to the reservoir. You know, there would be some cost for the electrician. You know, if it's something the city wants to do, you know, it wouldn't be bad for the reservoirs, it wouldn't be bad for your water quality. There would be some cost for the mixers, but then also you have to power them, and so you have to get a cable into the reservoir, and that would require some work from the electrician.
We need to do
So,
anything
you know,
we can to get
I
this
wasn't
water
directly involved,
better.
so I don't know the costs they were looking at, but,
Do know what it would cost roughly? Would you be able to look into that for us when you get a chance?
Well, my guess is that, you know, for the mixer, you'd be looking at something on the order of 10 to 15,000. The trick would be how hard it would be to get the power in, and I think there's a spare conduit on the new reservoir, so it might not be that expensive. If you would like, I can certainly investigate cost on that.
Please?
Certainly.
Okay.
You would need an agitator on top and one on bottom in order to agitate the water good.
Yep.
I believe this agitator was going on the top, if I'm correct.
Usually they sit on the bottom. And then they're designed, they design them, you know, they have different models and stuff, and they design them such that they can jet the water, try to mix it the best they can, based on, you know, it rests physically on the bottom, so, typically.
Okay. All right, I'll be waiting to hear back from you on that, Jamin. Okay?
Pardon? Yeah.
What was that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
There.
Okay, thank you. Mary?
Our packets, is there a way we could get these packets, like on a Thursday or Friday, not on a Monday or Tuesday?
I was always told to deliver them 24 hours.
We changed it back to the 24 hours, so. And it's because we're changing stuff on it. Like Jamin, we barely got notice from him today, so we weren't able to put it on the packet. We weren't able to put it on the packet, so that's how come she had to redo and put the new one out. So we could have him here tonight.
Because it doesn't give me enough time to study it and ask questions, go to the city hall, or make phone calls.
Those packets, is that an agenda? I mean, is that a?
That's what
We
it
can
is.
get it when we ask for it, and it used to be Fridays, it's supposed to be Fridays.
When I first started on the council,
Yeah.
Well,
I
because
did
I
ask
had
for
changed
it, and
it.
it was on
We
Fridays.
can change it back.
Well, the only reason we do it on Monday,
It's a council's agenda,
Yeah.
not the mayor's.
and I understand that, but Vera, when we're still working like last minute with the
I know,
attorney and
but
that.
The thing of it is, it's what Mary says, it's hard, like these ones, we haven't had a lot to look through and read, but there are times that we've actually tabled stuff because we don't have time to read it and study it.
I
And
could
we
deliver
really
them
need
on
to be
Friday.
aware of
They're ready on
everything
Friday.
we do.
It'll be better
The
on
way I got
Friday.
trained is to
You
deliver
need,
them on
Bethel, you need to be quiet, please. It's not like you're getting one delivered to you.
I know, but there's my city council said they need to have time to read all the stuff.
Anyway,
For real.
Judy said she has them ready on Fridays.
There it
Yeah,
goes.
but
She
I
just
was
wasn't
just-
told to give them out, yeah.
Yeah,
She just was told not to give them out until 24
So
hours.
Make a motion.
Right?
yeah, so it's not a problem for me to deliver them on Fridays.
Okay.
And if there is
Thank
any
you.
changes, you can do like kind of this.
Yeah.
What you did
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, thank you.
That would be good, thank you. And then I have another one. How come we can't give our grounds people or the
Public Works.
public works any overtime in the winter time when it's snowing?
They have been getting overtime. They have.
Is that why they were on such a strict schedule this past weekend? That's what I heard, that's why.
No, they came in, I believe, at 6 in the morning, and they were working till 4:30, but then I think one or two ended up coming out again. I can't remember which ones. Really,
I'm not sure.
I don't remember, but they have been getting overtime.
I did talk to a couple of them, and they did tell me that they were doing flex. Why flex? Why can't we pay them over?
Because when, I think, we don't give them flex, what they are, we're talking about was, no, we didn't send anybody home early.
From what I understand from them.
On Friday, did they go home early?
No, they worked until
Just the
4:30.
office?
Yeah, just the office didn't work, but
Well, they worked till 4:30, that's what they worked till?
they're working till 4:30.
You changed their time of the.
Yeah, they're coming in early right now, and so they leave at 4:30.
Because of the time, like, it gets dark fast.
Because of the darkness, But, no, they were going by their CBA. And the CBA is what determines. And I talked to them, we're on once a week and I asked them if they're okay with how they're working, and they are. But I do, now that you are saying something like that, I guess I just want to ask you, why do you feel that they needed to clean your driveway and move the snow?
I did.
So that's what they came back and told me.
I didn't. I just told them, hey, I just pushed it out there, you guys pushed it back.
They put the snow.
So I had somebody
Yeah,
come out and.
so yeah, and they put it in my driveway as well, so my husband had to go out there and shovel my snow. So there's no,
I think we all have.
so, you know, we all have to do our part. I mean, just because I'm the mayor, I'm not telling them, oh, clean my driveway, no.
I didn't tell them to clean my driveway.
No,
We had
that's where they
people come
put the
down.
pile of snow, it's causing trouble for certain people.
So before there used to be, well, first people would complain because the snow was in the middle of the street. So they're not leaving it in the middle of the street no more. So now they're cleaning and pushing the snow, and people are still complaining, you know, we can't clean
If
driveways.
it's in the middle of the street, we can't get across it. If it's in our driveway, we can't get out of the driveway.
Exactly.
So we have a problem.
Mhm. So,
Yeah, because I had mine cleaned.
yeah,
Not from them.
We had to.
no,
I had somebody come in and clean it for me.
yes, well, my husband had to go out and clean mine as well, because I don't get special privileges, and they know it. The guys know it. I don't ask them for favors.
Try to put something into, I don't know, plan or something to make it easier for them.
Well, they have a snow plan, and it's on the counter and it's online, so they have a snow removal plan.
But they have a plan, but yet the snow is getting in the residents' way. And I know they're not, I know they do their job. Don't start on that. I'm not saying they're not doing their job. It's just not beneficial to,
And they're,
especially if they're older. We have a lot of old people in Mabton.
Yeah, they used to come in at 3 in the morning.
I've already told the elderly
They would come in at
people
3 in the
that they
morning
have
when there was
facility.
less traffic.
Yeah,
And
they should be
they,
able to call City Hall.
They would clean
and
up.
we will send somebody out there. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
one of my things since day one. If the elderly need help in something, we are going to send them out there, and there we've had that conversation. And I've told you. So if the elderly call, or we have a single, widow or a widower, and they need help, then, but nobody's called. Nobody has called. And I always tell the guys, hey, if you guys think that there's somebody out there that they need their stuff moved or whatever, let us know, and then we will take care of it.
Because the city don't,
You need to be
they don't
quiet,
really get
please.
so much help though, for real. If they call, they're like,
Yeah.
nobody answers the phone.
Anyway, so, anything else over here?